All right, check this out, boys and girls. So we finished cutting up and tacking up all the pieces making up the manifold. Um, I think it turned out well. I think it looks, well, I say it turned out. I think it looks pretty cool so far. It looks pretty good. Um, I can't complain. Kind of a pain in the ass at some point. So I time lapse the whole thing, and I'll just play that as B-roll or something somewhere. It's both really boring and also kind of neat to watch. Um, but I mean, there's some pretty. It started out pretty well, but there's some pretty substantial gaps. Let's see if you can. Yeah, I mean, you can see that fucker. I mean, it's probably a millimeter gap there. So I got some pretty, and that's if you didn't already know, boys and girls, that's not good. I mean, I can fill that, but it'll be a pain in the ass. It'll be a pain. That's probably the worst one, but there's another one that's kind of just as bad. But I mean, oh no, that's not too bad. I mean, for a complex geometry like this, and not having really the best equipment to do that, to make those cuts and stuff, not too bad. You know, at least for a fucking hack like me. So, and as you can see, I sort of marked these. So the idea is that these, getting into some of these areas is rather tricky. I'll show you what I mean. Like, you know, you getting into some of these areas is maybe not very easy. Like if you gotta weld the seam on the inside of that guy, or some of these spots that are difficult to get to, right? So the idea is that I'll break this down sort of smartfully, break this down and weld each section sort of individually, so that I can, for one, it's easier, for two, it's actually possible or more feasible to actually get in to some of these tight areas in there. So the way I'm thinking to do that, so what I'm trying to do is decide where I'm going to separate it. So I figure, you know, these areas that are next to the collector, I can probably leave like the nearest sections connected to the collector, and I can probably weld those sort of all together. And then I decided, so where I think I'm gonna sort of separate each section, and where I'm going to separate each section, so I can disassemble it and then weld each section separately. Then when they're all sort of fully welded, then do the final sort of welds where I disconnected them. And I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, well, shit, but that's still kind of a pain in the ass, though, because you still have these spots that are still mega difficult to get to in there with a TIG torch. Yes, well observed, young viewer. So that's why I've sort of numbered these in the way that I sort of think I can assemble them easiest, or weld them easiest. That is, this one as a number 1, because I'm thinking it'd be easier to make this joint if these pipes weren't there. And furthermore, if this was the only one that was there, that'd be easiest. And then some of these other ones, like number 3 and number 4, I'm thinking, well, number 3, I could probably get in there if these other number 1 and number 2 back there, I could probably do this one if those ones were already there, so I can do this one third. And then number 4, I think, well, this is probably going to be the easiest one to do last while the other ones are still attached, if you follow what I'm saying. So that's the plan. And if I showed you the squeezing these down appears to have worked pretty well. I'll show you a clip of that right now. Hey boys and girls, check this out. So we're gonna squish this guy, well we're gonna try to squish this guy in so that it fits because it's a round tube. We're gonna squish it so it fits in the oval flange. And we're gonna use this press to do it. Hey John, why the fuck do you have a hydraulic press in your spare bedroom? And where do you keep your hydraulic press, you fucker? Up your asshole? How come there aren't any lights on in here? That's fucking... It's kind of annoying because the rental places, right? Right, they don't have overhead lights, so you gotta like put your own in or bring a lamp or whatever. I just use one of my lights. Right there. Hey John, why the fuck do you have a boat in your spare bedroom? Hey man, don't worry about it, alright? Tighten it a little bit. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. So I kind of marked the top with that little mark you can see. Scribe mark. So I kind of have a general idea of which way we want to squish it. Does it look squished enough to you? I don't think we want to go full squish on it. I don't want to over squish it. Oops. I don't have 3 hands. I might have 3 legs, but not 3 hands. So that's probably pretty close. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Have a look. That's pretty dang close. I think we go a little bit more, just a little bit more, and we'll be good. Better not squeeze too much. That's what my mother told me. She taught me 2 things. Is careful not to squeeze it too much, and she also taught me before you go in any kind of hole, always sniff it first. It's actually some of the best advice I've ever had. All right, now that is nice and oval. Sweet, let's try it. Yeah, that's just about right. And the only real worry I have is like some of these, like this one, like I was squishing it like a lot. Like I squished it and I squished it kind of too far, so then I squished it the other way, and then I squished it back. So I have some concern that I've overworked this part and it's become hard and brittle. I don't really know I don't have a lot of background on how much cold working 304 stainless can tolerate before it hardens. I don't actually know if I'm guessing the 304 is hardenable. Maybe it's not. In any case, if it is, most likely some of those areas are some annealing is going to take place when I weld it. And furthermore, when you're running, wide open throttle, full boost, this guy is going to be pretty hot. I'm guessing that manifolds in this application can be touching 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. Pretty darn hot. What I'm getting at is I'm wondering if just under normal operation or under heavy operation that this material, this component is going to be exceeding the recrystallization temperature anyways, in which case you wouldn't have to worry about work hardening building this as a result of the welds or not. So I'm aware of all those. I'm aware of those engineering principles. I'm not really going to pay any attention to them. We're just going to see what happens. It'll probably be fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. It's fine. So what I'm going to do now, take this guy off, fit it up in the car, check stuff, check the fit, make sure I haven't really fucked anything up so badly, because it's a lot easier to make repairs, make modifications, take this stuff apart now. Well, it's only sort of tacked. It's tacked well, so I can be pretty rough with it. But if I've cocked something up quite badly, it's easier to remedy the situation now than if I weld it all up. Plus, I won't have spent all that time welding if I'm just going to take it apart again. But I mean, I might just say, upon discovery that I've fucked something up very severely, I might just throw the whole fucking thing in the garbage and just quit. Just sell the car. Fuck it. And then, of course, what I got to do is sort out where, if you, for the more studious of you, would have realized that there's no port for the wastegate. So, and the even more studious of you may have observed that I'm a pretty clever individual, and maybe I did that because I have an integrated wastegate in the turbine housing of the turbo, but I actually don't. So I'm waiting to get it in the car and see where that wastegate's gonna live. I'm kind of hoping I don't know where it's gonna fit. There isn't, as you can see, like, I mean, it's probably possible to fit it on here. It's probably possible to make that work and fill shit in with metal, and but there's a little bit more real estate on the side. I mean, it's tight. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not tight. This collector, it's not awesome, but we'll get it in there. We'll see if I can either put it on the front or on the back or on the front. You know, that's probably preferable in terms of ability to get it connected to the collector. But anyway, we'll fuck that bridge once we see it. Okay, so here we are, sort of situated in the engine bay. No major surprises. Everything looks more or less as I would have expected. Yeah, no big worry here. There's plenty of space back there, and the way that I'm kind of pleased that I initially routed this cylinder. It's either cylinder number 1 or number 4. I'm pleased that I routed it the way that I did. Let's see if you can look down there. Doesn't really help you. But anyway, I had routed it somewhat differently, and I changed my mind, and I'm glad I did, because now there's gonna be, I'm sure there's all kind of noise from me clanging that camera around, but there's gonna be clearance for that exhaust, which is good. It's kind of tight in here where the exhaust comes out, if you can kind of see, but I checked it. It's tight, but it should work. But sort of now the issue is, put that up there and make it a little bit brighter. Sorting out what the fuck to do with this guy. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to figure it out. I don't really know. I think I'm gonna probably try something like this, where I use an elbow to come out of the collector and situate this guy something like back here. But it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. Alternatively, I can take the strut tower bar off It's just sitting there loose right now, and that gives me a little bit more freedom. But I mean, I still gotta clear the hood, so I don't know. I'll figure it out one step at a time. I mean, I'll probably figure it out. I don't know. We'll see. Cool.